Good morning. So I found out that they're not doing gymnastics upstairs. My neighbor's just got a puppy. I am fully caffeinated and fully medicated, as in narcolepsy, but I'm still recovering from my sinus infection. So if I sound like a Muppet, like Kermit the Frog, it's because I got a lot of stuff going on respiratorily speaking, but today is exciting because we are going to be using some new products, just kind of newer products to my collection and things that I'd like to share with you and try out. Some I've never tried before. So without further ado, let's get into this. Get ready with me. So I'm going to start out by putting on my Glossier Balm.com. Get those lips prepped for whatever we're going to do to them at the end of the video. I'm going to be going in with my Glossier Priming Moisturizer. Once again, I said in my past video that I don't really think that this is so much of a primer as it is just very nice bland moisturizer. It was $22 for 1.7 fluid ounces. I will use it up. I'm going to use this as my moisturizer before I go in. Oh, I totally forgot. My name is Meg and this is Skylark Beauty. I did not say that in the intro. If you're new here, thank you for watching. Welcome. I'd love to have you subscribe and be part of the flock. Jerry is the king of the flock right here. He is my world. I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At least I try to, and I'm a heavily review-based channel. I do some tutorials, or I try to, but I am by no means a certified makeup artist. But how many of us are, and how many of us just want to look nice for work or on a daily basis and for special occasions? We all do. So this is kind of my journey, and I like it because it's an outlet. I moved here a year ago and I still don't know that many people. I'm in the middle of grad school and this is just kind of my therapy for myself and my self-care, an outlet all wrapped up into one alter ego that nobody in my personal life really knows about. So this is kind of nice because I can escape from my world for a little bit and get this makeup out of my system. So, you ready? Okay, and then the Glow On Shimmer Glam Base from Etude House, which is a Korean beauty brand, which you shake up. It's a beautiful glass component with a beautiful rose gold pump. It smells very good. It's very similar to that of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid Highlighter. I'm just going to take a brush. This is really like my third time using this, and I do feel like it's kind of serum-y, so it does help with the longevity of my makeup. So the foundation that I'm going to be using is the Double Lasting Serum Foundation from Etude House. Now, this is a K-beauty brand, as I mentioned just now, from the Glow On base. This stuff is in a nice component as well. They don't skimp on the packaging, but they do have a very limited shade range. I know it's very controversial, the shade range of K-beauty. I don't consider myself to be that in touch with Korean culture, even though I am Korean. They tend to run on the light side. So this was one of their darker shades of foundation, and they do value light skin. And that's like the complete opposite of here in America, where we love fake tanning and stuff like that. But just interestingly enough, what countries value, for example, skin color, this is valued. And I'm a very pale person, and this is too pale for me. So I just find it very interesting what countries support what skin colors and what their definition of beauty is, because it varies and it changes over time, but this is just very light. Do some cream contouring next. Here, I don't think that New Year's resolutions are a load of crap like a lot of people say. I think that resolutions tend to be too Lent-like, where you give up things or say, I'm going to do this or do that. I think the less extreme the goal is, and the more realistic it is, the more chance of meeting it you'll have. And I think people's problem is they overshoot and then they feel like a failure or they just can't do it and they lapse, and then they go back to the thing that they wanted to avoid or the pattern of behavior that they wanted to avoid all along because of the fact that they overshot. So my goal this year is to not overshoot and be realistic about what I can do and what I can't do. And one of my biggest things is getting back into shape, because since I've been depressed, really depressed and anxious this last year, I was pretty much in bed when I wasn't in class or when I wasn't in work. I would go to class and I go to work, but when I wasn't in bed or I wasn't in work or I wasn't doing a video on here, which I said was my therapy, and I still stand by that, I was in bed. And so I stopped doing yoga, which was one of my huge outlets before this. I stopped doing yoga completely. I mean, however, I did catch up on a lot of good YouTube stuff, so it was kind of beneficial, but I stopped yoga, which was a huge health outlet for me before. I noticed a huge change in my body. I drank a little more than usual. And so realistically, I really want to get into better habits, and I want to do things that I know are attainable. And for me, that's going to be trying to lose 10 to 12 pounds. I do think 10 to 12 pounds is attainable, and I'm going to do my best to reach that. And my best friend, kind of in a roundabout way, gave me a gift for Christmas. It wasn't intentionally a gift, but it ended up being a gift in my eyes, because my best friend is kind of a rock star in the fitness social media world, and I look up to her every day as physical inspiration. She got me a 1-year access pass to a kick-ass workout program that I'm going to be able to do for a year for free. And I'm so excited because there's a bunch of different types of workouts at different intensity levels. And I will start on my fitness journey, which I will probably just keep updating on here. I asked for a blender for Christmas because I knew that when you're depressed, you don't feel like doing anything. And I mean anything. You don't feel like getting out of bed. You don't feel like eating. You don't feel like showering. Feel so tired and zapped of energy, and you don't want to do anything. About the only thing that I could get myself to do is makeup. It's the only thing that really made me happy. I would do my makeup for work so I look appropriate. And so eating was even something that I didn't feel like I had the energy to do. If you're depressed, if you're a fellow depressed individual, you totally will feel me on that. Where eating, you don't have the energy to meal prep. You don't have the energy to cook something. So I figured a smoothie would be the most healthy way to get around that. And so I got a blender for Christmas, as well as one of those little cheap NutriBullets, like the NutriBullets that blend that you would see on like infomercials. My boyfriend got me one, and I was very excited to try it because I just want to get healthier, but it's really hard to when you don't feel like you can even get out of bed. It's very funny. If I have a class to go to, or if I have work or some type of obligation for other people, I'm there. I will not flake out. I will be there with bells on. Catering gigs, anything of that type of responsibility, I will not miss for the world, because it has to do with other people's well-being. And that's my problem, is my well-being isn't important enough when I'm depressed. And that's a lot of people's problems when they're depressed, is they don't feel worth putting in that effort or even doing anything extra. And I think self-worth is definitely tied into depression, or when you become depressed, you start questioning your self-worth because you feel useless, because you feel like a burden. I just think that mental health is so important, and it's something that needs to be addressed. I think I might want to do chit-chat get readies with me focused around mental health and things like that, because no brain is perfect. No body is perfect. Everybody has such an interesting train of thought and personality. And I think that if I get anything out of this channel, it would be to start dialogue about just dialogue between people, because that kind of thing fascinates me. It's what I'm studying in school. And so, yeah, animals and psychology, that's my jam. And makeup, of course. And I don't really think that talking about depression and things like this has to be that deep and dark. It's just a way of living, a way of being. When you have it, you learn to live with it, just like you do diabetes or any other type of chronic illness. You learn to live with it. And so it doesn't have to be really heavy and depressing. It's just a fact. And it affects you just like other illnesses affect you. So I'm going to try and get that going on here and use this kind of as my platform for that as well. So moving on, I've been watching other YouTubers whose videos are long, like very long. They're Chit Chat Get Readies with me, but they're very interesting people. And I'm not saying that I'm an interesting person by any means, but I really like hearing what other people have to say about their life experiences. My Chit Chat Get Readies with me might be longer. I'm just a long-winded person, and it's my platform. And if you like what you see, then you'll want to high five, good job. Then you'll want to stick around. And if not, then thank you for giving me a try. It's Life of the Party from Tarte. Every year they do it, and it's a clutch, which is really cool, that you can take out this and use it as an actual clutch with a wallet thing and a mirror. However, it's so pink and sparkly that I would not use this clutch. And also, you can't pop these pans out, so you pretty much have no choice but to use this as your blush thing. And I'm not gonna put this in my makeup bag to go home. It's so bulky, but I will use it today for blush. This one and that one. I'm just gonna do a little mixture of those two. So like I said, for my Chit Chat Get Readies with me, I think I want, ooh, that's really dark. I think I want to incorporate some heavier life topics on here. Maybe others will find me somehow. I'm going to start tagging things. I think that's how you find people. I'm so bad with technology, but you know, like adoption and other things, heavier topics, you know, so people can find other people similar to them that have similar life experiences. The Wet n Wild Loose I'm So Lit highlighter mixed with All Glown Up. If you saw my folly in my last video, I used All Glown Up by itself, and it was like a blush. It was so dark. The little Real Techniques setting powder that I use for highlight, and mix the two. So I just take the caps off, and then I just take a tiny bit of both in the caps, swirl it around in the cap, and then go to town on the tops of my cheeks and bring it up around. So I'm making kind of like a Pac-Man shape. Speaking of Pac-Man, Bandersnatch. Have you guys watched it yet? I really want to know people's opinions on that. I am a fan of Black Mirror. I think they get a little too dark sometimes, but I am a fan of Black Mirror. And when my buddy at the coffee shop I work at, one of my customers was like, dude, Bandersnatch, it just came out on YouTube. You need to check it out. And I was like, all right. And so my boyfriend and I watched it, and it's really interesting. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is an interactive movie. So you actually have timed questions where you get to choose your fate, basically. And kind of like a role RPG, like choose your own fate type of thing. And I'd love to hear other people's opinions on it. Maybe I'll put it in the title so that people will find this and then write their opinions in the comments. I don't know. Go on and do eyebrows, which is never a point of interest to most people unless they're just trying to learn how to do eyebrows. And I am not the person you want to learn from. So maybe I'll just do this off camera so that I won't waste 20 hours. So I'm going to put on some eye primer. And yes, I just remembered the star of the show today was the Nubian palette and the Warrior palette from Juvia's Place. I can't do this. You're going to have to go back in your cage. He just gets into the eyeshadows and everything like that. These were all on sale at Ulta. And it looks a lot like the Tarte Lit Heat palette. Actually, it looks a lot like it. Here's the Warrior palette. This one is just wow. It just reminds me of coffee. I think we can create a very nice, boring, neutral look. Just kidding. I think we can make a really pretty look today using those two palettes. Maybe I'll just try and use one of the palettes because they're both so neutral. Maybe I'll just use the Warrior palette today and we'll use the Nubian another day. So the Warrior palette. Let's see here. Obviously, we're going to start out with that shade. I wonder if these pans are the same depth. Like if you get more product with, I could probably look on the back of the thing, but so far I have been impressed with the shadows. I think that they are pigmented based off of the Saharan palette. I do like them and they are a bargain. I just used a Hosi and it's this shade right here. So you can follow along if you have the palette or do something more intricate, whatever you'd like. My Morphe M433, and I'm gonna go into Kano, this brown shade right here, medium brown shade. And I'm just gonna see how pigmented what we have. Oh no, I was gonna say it almost has a green tint to this, like a yellowish green thing, and I just realized this is the same brush that I used for my Jerry green and blue look yesterday. Good job, Megan. And I'm gonna go in with Mino, that dark brown, and I'm going to start on the outer third of my eye and kind of pat it slash buff it into my flat eye and pretend like it's a crease. I'm not going to talk about deep stuff while I'm doing my eyes. This takes concentration, folks. So I'm just creating a little depth here. And this brush is perfect for that. I really want to try Smith brushes because I'm a big fan of Samantha Ravndal's. And she lives by Smith brushes. So I really want to try those out. And Sigma is just in that like middle ground of being affordable and luxury. So I created that little C. And I'm all about little angles, but that's what I wanted to do with my eyes. And I'm going to go into a darker shade that's kind of similar to Kano called Dahomey right here, except for it's very shimmery. So I'm going to take that on my flat shader brush and place it in the middle of my eye. It's a beautiful color. I think I'm going to take a little bit of Benin, which is probably my favorite color in this whole palette. And I'm going to add it to that because I didn't want it to be that coppery. I wanted it to maintain some brown. So here we are with Benin added to that. This middle one and that one. I'm going to go in with a mixture of those two. Here's a little tip for if you're mixing shades. Always dip into the darker shade second because the other one, the lighter one, can kind of mix up with, the darker one can kind of mix up with the light one and stain it a little. So I learned the hard way. So if you are mixing shadows, try and pick up the lighter one first. So that's what we're working with. So I'm going to go in with Mino shade, the darkest one, on the bottom outside of my eye, connecting it to that C shape we had going on. So I kept it round, like round right here, but still uplifting, so it's kind of still like angular, but rounded off at the top so that it's not a point by any means. It's diffused out right here. It's not a point at all. And I don't really have an inner corner. If you can see, my eyes are very flat. Like right here, they're very flat. So I'm going to attempt to highlight my inner corner with Meremi, but it's not really anything because I don't really have an inner corner that works for highlighting personally. Oh yeah, you can see that. That's good. All right. I'm going to line my eyes, do a little bit of a wing. Okay, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of mascara on, then we will be done. Actually, I'm going to use my Big Shot tinted primer from Maybelline. Fresh, brand new tube. Smells good. It smells like that old school waxy formula of mascara. Eyelashes need all the help that they can get because they're really, really flimsy and wimpy and short and coarse. For mascara, I'm going to go in with my current favorite, which is the Clinique Lash Power Mascara long wearing formula, and it is long wearing and it's hard to get off at night, but it's so short. I just love the wand on this. It's so short that you can really dig into those roots and you can really wiggle your way up to the very tips of the lashes and deposit that product. My Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray, which I love. Let me see if this works with this look. It might not. Nice, pleasant vanilla scent. Creamy and opaque. That's what I'm gathering. This came in a duo where you saved a lot of money. It was only like $18 for a liquid lip and a gloss, when I think each one is like $18. Hopefully this is long lasting and moisturizing. This is our finished look using the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place, and I know this was a long one, but I think one of my videos out of the week now is going to be some kind of chit chat get ready with me so that I can get it out of my system, the talking and all that jazz. You can get ready with me, you can listen to me, you can judge me, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. I just want to make a video like that once a week, and the other ones will be pretty factual and information based, but I want one to be, what is going on here? But I want one to be at least really Meg style. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name's Meg. It's Skylark Beauty. I would love if you liked the video and subscribed and became part of the flock. And also if you ring my bell so you can get notified when I upload new videos. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, afternoon, night, whatever it is where you are while you're watching. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.